Hello everyone. Thank you for watching my channel. Today's topic we will cover two different things. Okay, part one, what is the SDLC? Okay, part two, what's the different stages of SDLC? So, what is the SDLC? Is someone know about this? Okay, so SDLC is a process followed for a software project. Okay, as DLC is a process followed for a software project within a organization. Okay, organization. Okay, it consists of a detailed plan describing. It consists of a detailed plan describing how to develop, maintain, replace, and enhance specific software. Okay, basically it consists of a dated plan describing how to develop, maintain, replace, and enhance the specific software. Okay, the another thing is there are different of a stage. There are different stages of SDLC. So the first stage is planning. Okay, planning and requirement stage. Okay, so any project, right? The any project, the first stage is the planning and the requirement. Okay, so all the project, every single project start from the stage one. So the stage one is planning and requirement. So anyone who asking for the requirement, so what's the requirement? So the requirement is performed by the senior member of the team. So the another sales department and the expert, they will discuss with the customer, will make all of the requirement, and they will decide what can be done and how much the budget to be done for this work. So all this it should be in the stage one, in the planning and requirement. Okay, so it's be completed by the stage one. Okay. Okay, stage two, defining defining requirement. Okay, so stage two is defining the requirement. So what happened is once requirement analysis is done, we need to we need to next we need to next define and document the procedure. We need to define and document the product requirement, and we need to get them approved from the customer. Okay, so first what happened is here what happened is someone go to the customer, analyze the requirement, then we need to define and document the product requirement, and finally we need to get the requirement approved from the customer. Okay, so same thing as the analysis. Okay, another thing is this will be done through SRS. Okay, so it's the software requirement specification. Okay, these are some technical terms. Okay, the another thing is we need to design the product. Okay, so we got the project from the customer, right? And now use this approach, we start to design the product architecture. Okay, we need to start to design the product architecture. Okay, architecture. Here, what we will be doing is we will creating design document. Okay, we will create a design document which will be reviewed by all product stakeholders. Okay, and then the next will be next stage will be build or develop the product. Okay. So from the previous stage, we got the requirement, we analysis the requirements, we got a proof from the customer, and then we designed the document. Okay, so now we are doing the implement. Okay, here developers must follow the coding guidelines. So developers must follow the coding guidelines defined by their organization and they need to build the product. Okay, so the next stage is testing the product. Okay, so whatever the developer built, it's time for testing the product. Okay, the product defects are reported and then tracked and then fix it and retest it until product product reaches standard requirement. Okay, different. So until the requirement are met, the product defects are reported, track it, and fix it, and retext it. Okay, until the product reaches the standards defined in the SRS software requirement specification. Okay, the final thing is deployment in the market and the maintenance. Okay, finally what we will do is once the product is tested and ready to deploy it. Okay, it is released formally to the customers. Okay, formally in the market or to the customers. Once it is released, someone will take care of the maintenance and everything. Okay, is this clear now? Now the next thing is the SDLC models. There are something models. We have a waterfall model, and then iterative model, and then spiral model, and then wave model. There are different models. Okay, and then Big Bang model. Okay, we have different models. Okay. Everybody knows the waterfall model. Is anyone doesn't know what's a waterfall model? So waterfall model, what happen is, let me show you the difference between water model and Agile and also Devops. Okay, let's go Google. Okay, let's go this one. So you can see from the waterfall model. So in the waterfall model, what happen is initially design will be done, and then code will be done, and then test will be done, and then deploy will be done. Okay. So the waterfall model is once the requirement is formalized, there will be nothing easily to modify. Okay. So the expectation is once the requirement is formalized, there will be anything there will be not possible have anything changes from any side. Okay. That means there won't be anything changed from any side. Okay. That means that once we design, same design will be deployed as what we designed. There won't be anything changed. But with the current market, with the lots of competition, the waterfall model is not always a good choice. For that reason, Agile came into the current situation. So for the Agile, the first step is design and code, and then text, and then code again and text, and then code and test are parallelized and then deployed. That is the reason why Agile is in current market. Okay, it's very popular. But DevOps have their own reason to come to the market too. For the DevOps, we have a set of other reasons. Okay, so when the code and the test parallelized together, the deploy should be there. Okay, should be always there, right? So in this way, it's for the developer doing the development very fast, and also the test very faster too. When you do your coding and testing parallelized, you should make sure deploy is there. Okay. So in this way, for developer, they make the coding faster. Okay. In this way, the developer code faster, and also the testing team test faster. Okay. That's the reason DevOps is there. Okay. For that reason, people are going to use the DevOps approach for this agile methodology. Okay. When they are using Devops methodology, the developers can always try to check if their code is good or not. Is there any error? It's very efficiently. Okay, they can easily see whether the code is good quality or bad quality. Is there any issues that they can change? Then everybody move from a waterfall to agile, from agile to DevOps. Okay, is this clear for everyone? Now I have some diagram here. Okay, this is like a device slides kind of thing. Okay, what are the tools we will be using as part of the coding phases? What kind of tools we will be using in the building phases? Okay, if you can see from the screen, okay, we have a different tools. Okay, is there someone have any idea about all those tools? Anyone knows about all those tools? Anyone knows about all those tools? Okay, you can compare with this slides here, okay? The stage one planning, defining the requirement, design the product architecture, build testing, and deployed, okay? For each of the stages, okay? For each of stages, they have different tools here. So we can see the code. The first phase is coding, okay? As part of the coding, see the first stage. What's the first stage? It's coding, right? We have a different type of tools here. As part of coding, we will use a different type of tools, okay? One is Git, one is Jira, another one is Eclipse. Few people use different tools. Few people maybe use Python, few people use Java, depends on the project they are working, okay? Gate is nothing but where our actually project will located. Okay, let me show you here. So what's the purpose of Gate? Let's check the repository here. So this is that's a place. Okay, I'm writing it here. Okay, everybody can see. So for code, we are going to use Gate. Okay, here's the link. Gate is nothing but where our code located. Okay. So it will be here, okay? From Gata, we use Gata clan to get the code, put the code, okay? So another thing is Jira. Jira is whenever we are working on something new or some in some announcement or some bug, it will be created as a task in Jira board, okay? What happened is each project has Jira, okay? The another thing is Eclipse or IntelliJ or PyCharm or Visual Studio, okay? This is IDE, okay? Integrated development environment, okay? Used by the developer build the code, okay? So this is our this is a Visual Studio, okay? Okay. I also have a intelligent, okay? So it depends on the project the developer prefer one of them, okay? So what happened is there will be developers in the project, okay? There will be Devops engineer in the project, okay? So now we have new requirement, okay? Okay, for example, there's a requirement, there is a requirement for implementing logging screen for the product, okay? So the requirement is implementing login screen for the product. Okay, so the developer will stop working on the HTML part, and once the code is done, his code is done, he will keep the coding. He will keep the coding in GitHub. Okay, then DevOps engineer will take the code from a GitHub. Okay, and build and then deploy it. Okay, is that clear? Okay. So the developer will push the code to the GitHub. He will push like this, okay? He will put the code in here. So the DevOps engineer will take the code from the GitHub and build and then deploys. So where the task sent to the developer. So it's Jira, okay? So let me show you the Jira, how Jira is work, okay? So okay, let's see this. Okay. Here, create an issue. What is the project? What is the issue step? What's the priority? Okay, who is working on it? So this is all you need from Jira. Okay. So let's talk about software development life cycle. Okay. So first thing is whenever you get the project, you will go to the customer and ask the requirement. Okay. Hey, what kind of a product we are trying to develop? We need the requirement for it. And the customer will say, we are building the e-commerce application and I'm building the online shopping something, okay, right? And then it will explain, I need so on future, okay? And then our team will come back, they will define the requirement and see customer need this type of requirement. So for this type of requirement, we need to use the following tools, we need to use the following softwares to do it. And then we will go back to the customer and say, this is what's the software we are using. Please give the proof for the requirement for the the defined requirements. Okay. Hey, you are my customer. Okay. I'm from the company. Okay. So I have to go to you to ask what the requirement it is. Okay. What kind of a feature do you want? Okay. The developers doesn't go. Okay. You have to go. So I have to go. Okay. I have to go to decide, okay, what kind of, I have to ask what kind of requirement do you need? Let's say you're a customer of my company, okay? I will come to you, okay, from the company side, okay? And then I come back and then we will discuss, okay, this is customer, this requirement, the customer need this feature, and this feature. And we will discuss with our team. And then for this type of a requirement, we need to use this type of software and this version of software. Okay, we'll go back to the customer. He will say, this is what we use to develop your product. Please give a proof, then we can work on the implementation. Okay. The next thing is, once the code is ready, we need to see how to build the code. Okay. If it's Java-based application, we are going to use Apache Ant, Apache Maven, or Gradle. Okay, so if it's .NET application, we are going to use MS Build. Okay, Microsoft Build. Okay, if it's Python application, we are going to use pip. If it's if it's Node.js, we will use npm, Node Package Manager. Okay. Okay, for testing. We need to use JUnit and Selenium for doing that testing, and for the release phrase. Okay, for the release phases. Okay, we can use Jenkins. For deployment phases, we will use Ansible, Puppet, Chief, Salt Stack, different things there. So most of the things used is Ansible. Okay, once deployed, okay, we need to operate the monitor. Okay, for the operate and monitor. Okay, for that we'll be using New Relic, Datadog, Grafana, Prometheus, Nagi.os. So different tools out there. Okay. Okay. So all these things we can do on cloud or non-cloud. Okay. Okay, so for every single stage, they use different tools. Okay, all the tools that I mentioned about is very popular. So everything is popular and useful. But for the current market, the Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Okay, this is very popular and useful. And for the coding, we have the Terraform and also Grafana. Okay, so we need to know all of them, at least one tools in every single stage. Okay, for example, I want to build a code. People should famous of one of them. If it's a Java application, you need to know this. Okay. Okay. I hope I'm making sense. Okay. So you need to know at least one kind of tools. For example, if you are in the build the code stage, you need to have to know about at least one of them. You can know Java or .NET or Python or Node.js. Okay. It doesn't make sense that you don't know nothing about build the code. Okay. You need to know at least one or two of them. Okay. Of course, it's a plus if you know everything, but it's not that possible, especially for the new fresher. So if you don't know anything, it doesn't make sense that for people to understand it, to for people believe you are working on the DevOps. Okay. As we are dealing with Azure. Okay. First, the thing you need to know, we have different service. Okay. Let's see from here. Everyone should know how to create a virtual machine, how to create a SQL database, how to create a for Azure Cosmos DB and app service and storage accounts, how to the Azure Activities. Okay, once everybody clear all the services on the site, we start from 112 each. Okay, Azure gives something. Azure gives something called monitor. You can see from my screen. Okay, all those things we have to deal with one by one. Okay. So another thing is about is about automation of Azure resources. Okay, for this one, you can use it Terraform, or you can use the Azure Click, or you can use the PowerShell. Okay, it depends on project. You can use one of them. Okay. So question. So Azure Devops, how does it make a difference with AWS Devops? Okay. Okay, for the AWS services, there's nothing called about AWS DevOps, okay? AWS, they are service called, so it's called another things. Okay, let me show you. So AWS Management Console. So from the AWS console, we can see. So yeah, we probably need 5 minutes for it. Yeah, we probably need 5 minutes for it. Okay, there's tools, so which is used for AWS DevOps. Okay, so here is a code commit, code build, code deploy. Okay, these are equivalent to the Azure DevOps. Okay, but it doesn't code about AWS DevOps. Okay, they have their own tools. Okay. As I mentioned before, this training is for a student looking for a job or for someone who is trying to change to DevOps career path. Okay, so but for as I said, I only train something very hands-on, not a lot about theory. Okay, if you're interested about theory, you can just Google. It's pretty much easy. But what I'm doing in this course hands-on. So it's exactly for someone get familiar about DevOps, this career, and work in the company. Okay, so it's for job career looking. It's for the job. It's for looking for the job. Okay, so my video is not that long, but I'm trying to make it shorter, so I don't want to talk too much theory. So as long as you watch my videos like more than 10 times for each video, then I mean, if you can get it what exactly here in my video, the whole video, then you can easily get a job. There's no problem for you to get a job to answer the interview question, because all the hands-on is what exactly in the company. I mean, if you work as a Devops engineer, what it will be exactly I'm doing now. So try to make sure you watch the video multi times, understand every single detail I'm mentioning here, and get understanding and hands-on to practice it. if you got a job, you will be fine. There will be no problem. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have to run to another section. Um, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.